Hello, everyone. I want to do a discussion, and that's the discussion of trauma. I'm going to share my story. So, my family came to Australia in the late 70s during the Vietnam War. My parents went through hell. I'm sure a lot of Vietnamese families out there across the world, they were escaping death, and they had to just jump on a really crappy boat and just set sail, just to run away. And I can't imagine myself being in their shoes, just like your hometown is being invaded by communists and they want to just capture you. And I can't imagine myself just running away, just leaving home, everything that you know, and just jump on a boat and leave. So my parents and my older brother, who was a baby at the time, like my family, literally had nothing when they came to Australia. I was told that my parents only had like a small tin container with some biscuits or so. And my older brother had some stomach issues because he may have been malnourished. And there were times where the boat had to just land at certain islands just so that the people on the boat had to find for food and water. And that's really scary. Or now I think about it, like, it's really bloody surreal. I can't fathom what it'd be like in today, 2024. But then again, maybe there are people in the world who are currently experiencing that kind of limitation on food and water. I can't fathom what that'd be like. Anyways, so my parents finally arrived to Australia. We didn't have anything. My parents just, once they got here, they just focused on surviving. And how my parents survived was they just had to find work in order to make money and survive. That's all what my parents knew, especially with my mother. Fast forward. Now I'm 30. I'm sorry, 31. I'm turning 32. I've now started a journey on healing my trauma, and I'll get to my trauma in a bit. At 31, I started doing some therapy. I started to reach out for help for a men's coach. Something had happened in order for me to reach out for help. And what had happened was I was struggling with maintaining romantic relationships. And what I realized that I have codependent tendencies. And then that all stemmed from my upbringing and the trauma that I experienced. And when I say trauma, what I really mean is complex PTSD, or complex trauma. So I'll start with what I experienced as a child. Because my parents, they were busy working. They just had to work in order to put food to the table. So they ended up not being home as much. And especially my mother. My mother was, or is still, a very money smart person. She was always smart with her money, always saved, always made great decisions in terms of money. My mom made really great choices, really great decisions in order for our family to be where we are today. So, going back to the story. Because my parents weren't around as much, I guess looking back, I would have felt abandoned. I can't remember when I was 3 or 2, but what I do remember, whenever my parents weren't around, I was either at daycare, at preschool, or at my neighbors, my next door neighbor, who happens to be my godparents. And they're beautiful, wonderful people. Probably the first kind of amazing, beautiful people that I ever met, the first people. And they're from Chile. And yeah, I still remember them. And I have to admit, I haven't had a chance to reach out, but I will. They were just really kind, really loving people. And they ended up being my godparents at the end. I always felt loved and protected when I was with them. Something's coming up for me right now. I miss them. I miss them still. They were they were like my parents when my real parents weren't around. So anyways, my trauma that I've experienced is abandonment. And also a lack of receiving love. I guess in my culture, in my family's culture, I can't speak for other families. I can't speak for, in general, of Asian, Vietnamese, Chinese families. I can't speak for all of them because I guess there are some families out there who are actually different to my family. So my family culture is that love was conditional. Love is conditional, flat out. And what I experience, in order for me to be loved, in order for me to be accepted, that doesn't sound right. In order for me to be loved, to get love, I had to perform. I had to blah, blah, blah. I had to listen to my mother, or I had to do whatever my mom says, or getting good grades, getting 90%, A+, whatever. That was my way in order to get love. And that is unhealthy. That is not what it should be, right? Love is supposed to be unconditional. What I've learned is that when you're a parent, when two parents make a decision to bring a life to this world. I believe as parents, you just love that person, to love that child unconditionally without making them go through hoops. And I didn't get that. So my trauma is that the abandonment and the lack of love. I didn't get much love growing up when I was a child. It's always been conditional. And whenever I didn't listen to my mom, I was punished severely. As in, there were physical, emotional abuse, gaslighting, and a lot of shame. A lot of shame. Shame is a disease to anyone, not just a child, but to anyone. Because I guess when you grew up, I'm doing my best to use I statements. When I grew up, I experienced a lot of shame towards myself. A lot of hardness, harshness towards myself. Because I didn't want to listen to my parents because I felt like it was unfair. A lot of my life, whenever I wanted something, wish I had something or request something, my wants and needs weren't taken seriously. My needs of food and water and shelter were met 100%. But everything else, connection, love, just emotional, spiritual needs weren't met. I would say food, water, shelter were the only needs that were met in my life growing up, which then led me to going through complex PTSD. So I'll explain my understanding of complex PTSD. Complex PTSD, complex trauma, is when a child is in an environment where it is not safe. It is not emotionally, spiritually, and or physically safe. I'll give an example. Imagine a child, say 5 years old, and they're living in a household where the parents always yelled at each other. Always abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse. And as a child, you're experiencing that abuse as well. The parents are fighting each other, and whenever they get a chance to time out, maybe that child is next. And that child is scared. And that child gets abused, mocked, shamed, being told not good enough, withholding love, and just being told to just negativity towards that child. And that made the child really scared, upset, crying, alone, and no one was there to protect that child. So after that, when that child is suffering emotionally, physically, spiritually, that child is going to think, Am I not deserving of love? Why is that my parent, who I supposedly trust, that I thought I could trust, they're treating me this way? Am I not pretty enough? Am I not strong enough? Am I not man enough? Am I not girl enough? Am I just not good enough? Well, I have to be, because my parents are treating me this way. Therefore, maybe I deserve to be treated negatively. Maybe I am all those things, all the negative things. I have to be, because my parents treating me this way. I deserve it. I'm not good enough. That, my friends, complex PTSD. What that does for a child is that constant narrative within the child's psyche, body, heart. It's the disease of just shame, hurt, abandonment, just a lot of heavy stuff. And that carries on, just carries on and on and on, as they continue to live in that environment, as they continue to live in that unsafe environment. And that story just keeps going. And the parents still just treating each other in a negative way. Therefore, the household still remains unsafe. And that affects a child immensely. It affected me a lot. Well, I experienced shame, not being smart enough, not being good enough. My needs and wants were neglected. No one cares about what you want. Just do what I say, because that's what I want, says my mom. No one cares about what you want. Only my wants are important. Yours don't matter. That's what my mom will say, basically. If she didn't get what she wanted from me, I was punished. I was told I was useless. I was told you're just gonna end up homeless. I'm gonna kick you out. Leave my house. You don't want food? Fine, don't do what I say. Fast forward today. How it affects me today? Well, so far, me maintaining romantic relationships is difficult, because I guess throughout the years I learned to tolerate bad behavior growing up, and still to this day I've tolerated bad behavior. I think after 6 years of being on a path of self-betterment, self-development, and reclaiming my masculinity, I've definitely grown up since then, but still, my past romantic relationships, especially my second girlfriend, and maybe my first. Yeah, my first. Pretty much all my relationships, I tolerated bad behavior. But severely, my second girlfriend, I pretty much let myself go. I allowed someone to overstep my boundaries because I was just in love. I became someone's emotional baggage just to carry. And how I respond to that is that I would fawn. Fawn meaning, say, my girlfriend was being abusive. And my response would be, but I love you. As that'll be my response, but I love you. I guess, why are you treating me this way? Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So now, like, my last relationship, not my last. So like it's current, but we're not really in a relationship. In my mind, we're in a relationship. We talk as if we were. We talk as if we were. And I feel it towards her. And she's over in the United States, and I'm in Sydney. And stuff came up when I'm back here in Sydney, because I went over and visit her, and I was just missing her so much. And something came up for me where my codependency tendencies kicked in, and that damaged our relationship. And that's when I decided, okay, Darren, we're gonna work on some stuff for us. And I reached out for help for coaching, specifically to work on my mother wound. As you might guess, the abuse that I received from my mother wound. And then, thanks to the current girl that I am in love with, she suggested that I try therapy, have a coach and a therapist on my team. And it is a great idea. I love that idea. And so far it's working for me, because I have people, I'd say important, but healthy people on my side who are there to help me through my traumas and, I guess, the shame that I carry since childhood. Yeah. I kind of lost myself where I want to go with this. It's probably it's quite a few in that, actually, and it's been 30 minutes. So I think I'll just leave it there. I think I spoke enough. And the main reason I started talking is because I just feel like I need to talk and just share my story, part of my story, because I've been struggling. I've been struggling with accepting facts and the reality of my current situation with this lady in the United States. I do love this person a lot. And I say this to everyone, people who are close to me. She is at this point in time in my life, she is the best woman I know. She is absolutely just kind and amazing, radiant, just wonderful, kind. And I don't know what's going on from her side. I am all in. I've always have been. I'm all in. I said to her I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave. I told her that I loved her. But if behavior is a language, what is she telling me by her actions? I think the answer is she's not in. She's not in. And that's what I've been struggling with. I just wanted us to be together. I just wanted us to work towards something so meaningful. For me, it will be very meaningful. It will be the best thing, I think. Yeah. Anyways, to be continued. I think I'll go more into detail of trauma. Yeah. Anyways, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. I really do. It's just a random guy from Sydney just rambling. But I hope that hope my explanations of complex trauma made sense. That's how I would explain it to anyone who wouldn't understand or know what it is. Yeah. Anyways, I feel better. Yeah. Anyways, take care, everyone. I appreciate you meeting me here. Just listening on. And yeah, I'll see you and talk to you next time. Peace.